Hello, this is Anna Estrada of the Quantum Light Practice, and I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining me today. I am here to celebrate the new vibrations that are coming forth of spring. The spring equinox is approaching, and it's a time of revitalization, rejuvenation, and a time of cleansing. We all talk about spring cleaning. And so we are in this transmission, we are going to work with the quantum light frequencies to activate, recalibrate, and align ourselves to the divinity that is within so that we can come forth rejuvenated, revitalized, and ready to express our unique purpose, our unique essence in the world. The goddess that is coming forth to work with us today is Seshat, and she is of the Egyptian pantheon. She is a master of sacred architecture, and she is also a divine scribe. She has access to the Akasha, and she's a wisdom keeper. So in connecting with her, we can connect with our own deep innate wisdom, our own awareness of ourselves as beings of light incarnate with a unique essence that emanates from our being and expresses in the world in a way that is uplifting to ourselves and others. So we're going to connect with her and other beings of light that may come forth to activate a cleansing, a spring cleansing, and then we will recalibrate our system using the quantum light frequencies and come into alignment with the divinity that is you. So let's begin. And these transmissions are an experience. You just really have to experience it. And I will be working with light language. And so that will be a stream, it's an energy stream of sacred sound that comes forth from the various beings of light that join us in the transmission. And the purpose is it's just a very effective way of working with our energy. Because what happens is when we engage with the sound, with the sacred sound that comes forth, that sound, and we follow that sound as opposed to being engaged with the mind and trying to figure things out and trying to understand what happened and why is it this way and why is it not this way. All of these types of thought processes can actually be a negative feedback loop that it's like we become stuck in it, and it's very hard to lift ourselves, to transcend, to lift ourselves out of that negative feedback loop. And so the light language comes forth to assist us. So we focus on the sound, we focus on that divine being of light that comes forth, the channeled inspiration, messages, sounds. We also will receive number codes. And so all of these frequencies of light assist us to recalibrate our system. And then we come into alignment with a deeper experience of love and connection and support. So it's a beautiful way and very effective way of coming into the present moment and coming into alignment with the truth of who we are as divine beings of light. So again, this is an experience. You sit back, relax, and enjoy, and just allow what needs to come forth in this cleansing, in this spring cleansing. Just allow it to come forth, and you'll see you may have memories, you may have impressions of emotional states from the past, or experiences that you're going through in present time. But it will come forth often as a feeling, an emotion. And that is the vibration. Vibration is expressed through emotion. And so we allow those emotions to come forth. We are gentle with ourselves, and we work with the quantum light frequencies to process, to become more aware, to receive support and nourishment, to be inspired. And then experience grace, which is some of these obstructions actually unravel and are removed so that we can face the present moment in wholeness. So in a way, many times we're calling back fragmented parts of ourselves that that we may have disconnected from, we may have rejected parts of ourselves that come back to be integrated, and because they're a part of us. And so oftentimes these energies will come back kind of like wayward children, to be integrated into our system, to be loved, and to be aligned, to come into alignment with our wholeness. And so this is a process that will come forth in the light language transmission. So you just follow, it's like a guided meditation, shamanic journey, and you will receive exactly what you need in the moment to take the next step in your life, in your process, and in your divine expression in the world. So so I'm so happy that you're joining me today for this experience. And so the best way is to let's just dive right in and see what comes forth. So so we can just begin by closing our eyes. And we start every quantum light practice session with grounding to the inner divinity and Gaia, the earth, the mother nature, grounding our bodies into the planet so that we can come from a place of clarity and discernment. And from that place of grounding, we can journey into other dimensions, into other worlds. But we're doing this from a place of grounding and stability. So take a deep breath, and you can feel as I begin to talk about Gaia, it invokes a stillness, an inner stillness. So we close our eyes, breathe into the root chakra, which is the energy center at the base of the spine. And you can feel and see, visualize a line of energy that goes from the root chakra, the base of the spine, all the way through all the layers of the earth to the core of Gaia. And you can see this diamond white light that's emanating from the core of the earth. And you see that light arise, moving through all the layers of the earth and rising up through the soles of your feet into your body, into the root chakra, nourishing, supporting this Gaia vibration, this living and breathing entity that is the earth. Sonowaha shiniki aichiki no chunowaha nasiniki. So skurushinaka siniki. And we're just allowing this vibration of the earth, grounding, solid, stable, to cleanse and purify the root chakra in your body, clearing out any kind of anxiety or worry about your physical well-being. So we're just going to welcome in that beautiful earth energy. And some of us may be experiencing worry. And, you know, as we observe the world around us, as we watch what's happening with this global paradigm shift that's occurring, we can be triggered, we can go into fear. And there's also this energy of, how long is this going to go on? You know, we're starting to feel a little bit impatient, to say the least, about, you know, just coming into balance with all that's been happening the past year, all the shifts and changes in leadership, different revelations that have come forth. And above all, coming into balance, balancing the polarities that we've been experiencing, and coming into wholeness. So just allowing that earth energy to clear and cleanse, moving up into the second chakra, which is the emotional, creative center of the body. We're going to ground that area as well into the earth, and you just see that line of energy connect to the earth from the second chakra, the creative center of the body. And just allowing all these emotions to come into stillness as we engage with this earth energy and receive support. And we make the intention that we are connecting with the Ascended Gaia. So many of us have the idea that Gaia is in pain, that Gaia is suffering, that Gaia has been abused by humanity and is in pain and suffering. So this is a common perception of Gaia, and she is revealing to us in this now moment that she is alive and filled with vitality and with infinite resources to infinitely rejuvenate herself. So as a being that's alive. So we're going to connect to that ascended Gaia, that energy of rejuvenation, revitalization, and support. So she can receive our pain and our density and our confusion and completely recycle that energy. It is a neutral vibration for her, and she uses that vibration to expand and revitalize herself. So and she has infinite resources to do this inside of herself. And there are different dimensions from which she expresses herself, her sovereignty. So this perception that Gaia is in pain and humanity is causing pain to Gaia is an expression of imbalance. And it comes from the belief that humans have power over Gaia. It's an illusion that actually creates the imbalance of the way that humans live on the planet. This illusion that humans are in control of nature, of the earth, of the earth's resources. There are so many resources inside the earth, in this planet, that we have absolutely no awareness of or access to. So this, again, this perception, Gaia is so beyond, her power is so beyond what we perceive. And beyond what we're able to perceive. So those thoughts and perceptions are projections, so that humans put onto the planet. That's not to say that there are not humans that have abused the resources that they have had access to. That's not to say that there are humans that have been abusive to other humans with these resources that have been taken from the earth. So we're going to bring all that into balance. So, and with the perception that Gaia infinitely regenerates herself. She is a sovereign being of light, with her own essence, with her own mission, with and without humans. So humanity at this time is a life form that is living in co-creation with Gaia at this time, but at other times, there have been other life forms on the planet, that have evolved, that have shifted, that have changed. So the form that we're in at this time may completely evolve and shift into a completely different life form. Again, so we're just facing this knowledge, this awareness, in humility. And humility is a divine quality that assists us to achieve balance, because an empowerment that is based on truth, that as a human, as an individual human, that there is an experience of equality, of that we're not more than or we're not less than. We're in a state of equality when engaging with other beings of light, with other life forms, and with Gaia. And that is the divine quality of humility. It's not, again, we are recalibrating our perception of that divine quality, which at times has been seen as seeing yourself as less than, and seeing yourself as less than as being virtuous. And that is a distortion of what that divine quality is. That divine quality, humility, is about equality. Seeing yourself as the divine being of light that you are, the divinity that you are, nothing more, nothing less. So any challenge, you are equal to any challenge, and you do not have power over the earth or power under the earth. You are equal. And we live in co-creation with the divinity. So this is a 5D experience of life, and we're moving from experiences of being overpowered, being consumed, power over, power under dynamics are dissolving, they're activating as we speak about it, and then we're offering those experiences of being overpowered, of being overwhelmed, of feeling that despair, of feeling that the energy is just too much for us. We're just feeling overwhelmed and feeling paralyzed by different realizations that are revealed to us. So that energy of being overpowered, of being in despair, we are offering it to the fire, the violet flame. So we're calling forth the violet flame, so that we can experience clarity and and experience ourselves as the divine beings of light that we are in sovereignty. So just receive this light language transmission and focus on the second chakra, this emotional area of the body. Our creative life force. So the womb, the sexual organs, all that area, just focus on that area, bringing light to that area and clarity. So and this is Gaia. Hana ha nishu ha ni siki sukuba ha naini shiniki ai shiki sukushwa. So skora ha a shini shiniki sukusrwa ishkwa ha ni shiniki ani shiniki sunukusrwa. Come back into the flow, divine beings of light. Let go of any kind of self-imposed guilt. Look what we've done. Look what humanity has done. Take a deep breath and let it go. So we are recalibrating our perceptions and letting go of distortion. So it is not your fault that you have had those perceptions. These are conditioned belief systems that you haven't necessarily chosen, but have been programmed into you or conditioned into you. So we're just allowing, with great compassion and love, we allow ourselves to let go of these distortions and allow the purification that occurs with light, with the violet flame. So we're calling forth this beautiful violet, iridescent violet. It's a rainbow violet, ascended violet ray. It's coming forth into the crown of the head. Just allow that ray to come forth into the crown of the head. You visualize this violet iridescence. And just allow that energy to move through the inner quantum field, cleansing the third eye and the neural pathways of the brain, all the thought patterns, being liberated from these negative feedback loops. That is where we're repeating perceptions and distortions. They repeat in a loop. It's like a program. So we're allowing that to come forth, to unravel all thoughts of being less than, of being unworthy, of feeling guilty, of choices that we made when our heart was broken or when we were unconscious. The butterfly isn't sitting around feeling ashamed about choices that were made as a caterpillar. Okay, we just let go. We let go of the past. We did the best that we could. We are evolving. We are learning. So when we become aware of distortions in our perceptions, we become aware, wow, this perception has caused suffering. You know, my judgment or my confusion created suffering. So I'm going to ask for forgiveness. And I offer it to the fire. I offer that feeling, that despair, that guilt, that grief, all of those kinds of emotions, regret. We just offer those energies to the fire, this violet fire that's moving through all the neural pathways of the brain, the throat, cleansing and purifying our expression. And so Seshat is coming forth, this beautiful divine scribe, wisdom keeper. And so her energy is moving through the throat chakra. And the purpose is to unplug cords of limitations. About how you can express yourself, how you can express your truth, your essence. So this vibration, this light language transmission is about freedom, being able to express who you are in the moment in a way that's aligned with your inner divinity. So we're closing the gap between the way that you express and the vibration, the inner vibration of divinity, the divine self. Because sometimes there are obstructions, again, from the past, when maybe we expressed ourselves and we weren't received. Maybe we were considered to be dismissed as not being valued. Our expression wasn't valued, or we were not able to express in a way that was aligned with how we truly felt. We weren't able to express in a way that was authentic, maybe because we were afraid, maybe because in our history of humanity, people have been killed for expressing their truth. That has happened. That fear is real. So we're going to bring it up. And so any fear of expressing yourself, due to persecution or having been wounded in past lives, in this life, we are offering those feelings, that limitation, that caution, that comes from fear, that feeling, I got to tone it down so I don't offend people. So I have to fit in so that I'm not persecuted. Those kinds of energies, we're just going to allow that to come forth with the assistance of Seshat, because she's coming forth to support us in this cleansing so that we can express ourselves fully in the glory of who we are as beings of light incarnate, and just really enjoy our life and enjoy expressing ourselves with freedom and authenticity. And we can say a prayer that, just really acknowledging, yes, I am aware that there have been times in my life that I have been involved in this life, in past lives, in parallel lives, in perceptions and distortions that have been painful to myself and others. I know, and I will allow that to be. I ask for forgiveness. I can let go of self-persecution for what I perceive to be errors in the past, because in those moments, you are learning, you are growing, you are expanding, you are integrating. And sometimes we have to go through these challenges because they allow us to find our power. When we heal and come back into wholeness, we come back into more depth and authenticity. So we can be grateful for these experiences because we have learned and we have been able to expand through these experiences. So there's this tremendous compassion that's coming forth from the divine feminine: acceptance, compassion, softness. It's like some of these, this persecution energy can be very harsh. And the Divine Mother is asking us to soften with compassion and with love, because through love, that's how we come into balance. That's how we can purify our inner quantum field, is through love. And then when we're emanating that vibration of love, we start to see that reflection in the world around us. But we are not able to emanate the vibration of love if we are persecuting ourselves. If we are condemning ourselves for choices that we made when we were in lower frequencies. When we were, when our heart was closed, or when we were in despair, confusion. So we're going to offer forgiveness to these versions of ourselves that were suffering. So, and then we allow these versions of ourselves to integrate into this now moment. In the vibration of love, and acceptance, and compassion. So breathe into the heart and receive this violet ray of bliss. So skura ha'ana shiniki no suwa. Shunwa, 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 sinikinikini, sinikini, siniki, shiniki, chinanini, siki, sinaku, shinaku, surua hana, chiniki, chiniki, suku, surua, ha'ana, siniki, sinaku, shua, surua ha'ana, siniki, sina, shiniki, ya, shushkurua ha'ana, shinike, ichiki, suku, surua. So with the light language transmission, the energy brings up, so you might see imprints, memories, pictures of different incidents that have occurred in your life. So you offer it to the fire. So the purpose of seeing these images, or these imprints, is not to condemn you. It's not to re-traumatize yourself. You acknowledge and you offer it to the fire. Especially guilt and self-persecution. So, because if we're doing that inside ourselves, we will attract experiences in the outer world that will reflect that experience of persecution and condemnation. So we have to do that healing work inside ourselves first. By forgiving ourselves, accepting that we made mistakes, and being grateful that now we can see and we can choose. Because when we acknowledge and we bring these distortions into awareness, observing with neutrality. We can then choose. So awakened neutrality. That's the activation that we're receiving today. So we can see, but we're neutral. We can see the choices that we've made that have created suffering. We can see our attachment to suffering because of our feelings of unworthiness and our feelings of guilt. We become attached to suffering. We feel that this is what we deserve. So again, allowing those distortions to come up to the surface, and we offer it to the fire. So the Venus light is coming forth. The Venus light is a ray of self-realization. So just knowing who you are and allowing yourself to ripen in who you are. So the butterfly, again, the butterfly is not thinking about all the bad choices that were made when he was a caterpillar. Let it go. That version of yourself is complete. So we let it go. And then the butterfly is also not saying, oh, you know what? I think I should be a rose. I think I should be a flower. Why am I a butterfly and not a flower? Or I think I should be a bird. Why am I a butterfly and not a, no, the butterfly ripens as a butterfly and receives its full glory as a butterfly. The butterfly knows that he's a butterfly. And deepens into that experience of being a butterfly and the uniqueness of being a butterfly. Just really experiencing this joy and a very sensual experience of being in the body and knowing who you are and experiencing yourself as a light being incarnate, experiencing that divinity inside, experiencing yourself as a temple, this body as a vehicle of light. So feel that earth energy arise into the body, rising up through the first chakra, the energy centers of the body, into the solar plexus, cleansing, clearing, a beautiful fire moving through the solar plexus, through the power center of the body, into the heart, and then this beautiful Venus ray coming forth. All these divine codes of self-realization, of fulfillment, of wisdom, coming through the crown of the head, through the third eye, the throat, into the heart, and merging with the earth energy. And in this integration of earth and light, we experience heaven on earth. And the purity of who we are. So just receive that feeling, that vibration of fulfillment, of knowing who you are. Nothing more, nothing less. Being of light incarnate, experiencing life as a human on this amazing planet. just feeling the joy, the bliss of this incarnation, no matter what is occurring in the outer world. So in your inner world, so you experience balance, you experience empowerment, you experience sovereignty. So let's just celebrate that experience. So skuru ha'ana shinike chinike chakuwai. So skuru suno ha'ana shiniki, so skuru suno ha'anai, and all of those distortions. So with Seshat and her divine masculine counterpart, who is Toth, Surua Ha'anish or Thoth, Surua Ha'anashiniki, Soko Suruai Nai, Soskoruai Naiki Shiniku Suruai. They come forth, and the Akashic records are opening. Surua Nashiniki Sunakuai Nai. So all of these experiences of separation, if you choose, you can release them into the Akasha, into the Akashic records, if you choose to be included in this library of consciousness, to be included, to be completed, for future generations to learn from. So letting go into this library of experience and wisdom. So completing those patterns, choosing to complete. So if you choose to complete those patterns of separation, of being separate from your own divine self, as seeing yourself as unworthy, all of those patterns, those negative feedback loops of repeating this wound, let it go. This wound of separation, this wound of believing that you are separate from your own divine self. So if you are ready to complete that pattern, say, yes, I let go, I complete, I include back into consciousness all patterns of separation. I claim my divine sovereignty as a being of light incarnate. Yes. Say yes. I am a sovereign being. In alignment with the inner divinity. My individual will is in alignment with divine will. I am supported, I am nourished, I am revitalized. Infinitely revitalized with the divine presence. So I claim my divine birthright of freedom and abundance. Yes. Recalibrate and align. Breathe into the heart and just receive. So skuru aha ana shniki sonokorai nai haishkrini sikini noa nai nini kinwa sanakini chirikini chikosokurwa hanachini kichakosra. So skursuna ha ana shinkecha kosrai nai so ha ana sanakini no ana nini no ana nini no ana nini no ana nini sikiskoswa nini no ana nini sikisnusunkurai nai receiving that Venus ray of self-realization. Take deep breaths. Breathe into the heart, that love, that compassion, that total forgiveness, total acceptance of your humanity and your divinity. And the Hathors are coming forth, and the Hathors are coming forth to just heal, to upgrade the DNA of the body so that you can receive more and more light. So just breathe in, receiving more light and directing all of your sensuality, the sensuality of the body, the senses, towards the divine. So just so all the senses come into alignment, all the desires of the body and the mind come into alignment with the divine. So it's not that, so there is some conditioning here that's unraveling and being completed, that desires can be selfish, or desires are wrong, that these different impulses of the flesh are wrong. Because those impulses of the flesh have led to addictions, have led to suffering, have led to harm. So again, we are not going to get rid of the senses as humans in bodies, divine beings in bodies. We're not going to get rid of the senses or the desires. We are just going to bring them into alignment, raising the vibration, bringing clarity, bringing discernment, and bringing divinity, so that all of the senses, all of the desires are in alignment with the divine presence. Alignment with flow. And coming from love. So again, just this delight, full enjoyment, fulfillment of being incarnate, and completing patterns of fear, completing patterns of insecurity, completing patterns of attachment to suffering. And letting go of the memories of those experiences. We are completing. We are putting those vibrations, those frequencies into the fire of purification and rejuvenation. And so just receiving a blessing. So we're going to see this golden sphere of light hovering above the crown of the head, a golden sphere of light. And it's just being completely charged with your own creative essence, the creative life force of the universe. And all the support and love that you require, that your system requires, so that you can integrate these new frequencies of light and expansion that you're receiving in this now moment. So you see that golden sphere pulsating with these divine codes, divine qualities. And then you allow that golden sphere to descend into the crown of the head, into the body. And all the cells of the brain receive this light, this pulsating divine light, the creative life force of the universe, pulsating, being absorbed by every cell of the body, into the throat, to the heart, expanding, absorbing this golden divine frequency, the Christed light, the transfiguration, Soroai na chiniki soku soa ha na chiki soko. So the density of matter transforms into the Christed light. Soroa ha shiniki soku soroa nai. Soskuru soroa ha ana chiniki soku soroa. Soskuru soroa ha na shiniki. The density of matter in the body is infused with divine light in the most perfect recalibration and alignment. Just receive. And just allowing yourself to receive this freshness, a feeling of freshness, a new start. The 0 point field of realization, an expansion, the infinite field of possibility. Freed from the burdens of the past, the distortions, we can create from a place of wholeness, and power, and love. So we just welcome this fresh new beginning, this fresh life. Sonoai naishi, sonoai naishi, sonoai nai siniki sonoko ai nai chiniki. So focus on your heart and breathe into the heart. This sacred fire of love coming forth. Just breathe it in. Seeing the galactic Magdalene lineage coming forth to seal in all of these awarenesses and all of this wisdom. Soroainai chiniki soko soroainai. Haina shinaki sinako soroaina. Hayo ha. Sonahanai. Soskura sonaha asana sinaki shinoa. Soskuru ho roai. Hainai sinako roai. Soskuru hainai. Sonosunoaha shinaki sonoko roai. And the Magdalens are expressing this self-love. It's so important to love and accept yourself. That is a vibration, that self-expression, acceptance is a vibration that emanates from your being, and it supports others to love and accept themselves. So when you see somebody that's in pain or who's hurting, it is a very high inspired action to emanate this divine love from your being. And just being in your presence is uplifting when you are in alignment with the divinity within. So it's a very effective way to uplift others, is by experiencing this divine vibration of love inside yourself. It naturally emanates from your field and supports others and uplifts others. Energetically. So it's like it creates a ripple effect in your environment. So it is so important to do this work of cleansing, purifying, recalibrating, coming into alignment continually, so that we maintain this vibration of love emanating from our being at all times. So that the divine can direct this vibration to those in need. It's just a beautiful service that we're all being called to do. Emanate love. So this is a mission of the Magdalene lineage, is to emanate love in the darkness. No matter what is occurring in the outer world, we are in alignment with the divine, emanating love. It is a service. That we are offering the world. And you have been initiated into offering this service today. Offering gratitude to Seshat and Toth for assisting us to complete patterns that we have learned from, that we have grown from, that we are completing, that we're so grateful for. So thank you. Offering gratitude to the Divine Mother and the Christed Light, Sophia Christ, the vibration of wisdom. Thank you. Thank you. And for this mercy that we receive every time we open to the quantum light practice, we receive so much grace and mercy and support in our daily life. So offering so much gratitude and love for all that we've received today. Oh no no I sinakuru I sonahara I sinakuru I hinakuru I Osquai yakuru ai so guru horu ai Haina sinakuru ai suru horu ai. Offering gratitude to Gaia. Thank you. Be aware of that connection throughout your day. Visualize that cord of energy, of life, of love that has you firmly connected to this ascended crystalline grid of Gaia at the core of the earth, receiving love and support from the inner earth, the infinite revitalization of Gaia, and the beings of light that reside in the inner earth, offering blessings to us, and we offer blessings to that dimension of love and light. Just allow yourself to integrate and bask into these frequencies of light. Thank you so much for joining me today as we activate, recalibrate, and align with the divinity that is you.